So moving ahead, another question that we have for you, Prabhuji, is historically it's seen that religion is the cause behind many wars and battles that has happened over the recorded human history. And do you think religion is the cause of hate that is spread in the society?
Yeah, very interesting question. Religion is very powerful. Why? Because it goes very deep into your being, your consciousness, right? So religion is very, very powerful. And anything that is powerful can be misused, especially when it loses its essence and when it is stuck by the externals, right? And so that's where fanaticism. So a fanatic, a religious fanatic is someone who practices his religion in an external way. He's obsessed or he's stuck with the symbols or the symbolism of spirituality rather than going into the essence or the principles, the teachings. They're just stuck into the external forms, right? So religion, when it loses its essence, when it loses the purpose, right, and the core principles, and it becomes external, it becomes an external form or ritual, then yes, it can cause fanaticism, and that is the cause of all these problems. But when you practice religion not just externally but by delving deep into the principles and the core values or the teachings, not in an external way, but core values like love, compassion, prayer, duty mindedness, tolerance, such values which are actually the essence, which are the core of every spiritual path, when they are focused on, when they are when someone tries to imbibe them, then it does not lead to fanaticism, it leads to brotherhood, it leads to respect and harmony, right? But when it loses its essence, so therefore the spiritualists who are on the path should always preach the essence rather than just the external symbols or external symbolism, the rituals, the external practices.
So it's the true religion which spreads love, and the external religion which is causing all the war.
The not the external,
but the superficial practice of the religion, so to speak.
Without
the essence.
Without getting into the essence. If you are just stuck with the externals and then you become a victim of hate, or all the negative emotions, hatred, pride, anger, jealousy, all these things come, but whereas the essence of every spiritual path is to overcome these and rather to develop love and compassion and respect, right? So when those core values are missing, that's where the problem comes.
That answers my question. Another thing, Prabhuji, that I wanted to ask in the current...
by the way, there is no problem, there is nothing wrong in following the externals. Like say, in our own path, like I'm wearing this tilak, alright, I have certain dress code which I'm wearing. It's not wrong. The externals are required, they are helpful to help you to, put your focus on what is of essence, of value. So externals are not bad. But the problem comes when, that becomes the only thing without getting into the essence.
So that was a very beautiful explanation, Prabhuji. Another thing that I wanted to ask was, usually in the colleges these days, young students get into intimate relationships before the marriages. So do you think, is it healthy to get into very serious intimate relationships before marriage, and what kind of troubles can get into it?
Okay, when you mean intimate relationship, you are talking about physical relationship, right?
Sorry to interrupt, Prabhuji. Yeah. Intimate and as well as emotional attachments the students develop with the opposite genders.
Yeah.
So both of them.
Physical and emotional, right? Yeah, so this becomes like a kind of a very popular nowadays, casual sex or live-in relationships, and also, people start to think, like maybe a few decades ago, people used to see you as something, wrong if you are like talking intimately with, the opposite gender. But now people see you as something is wrong with you if you don't have a girlfriend or if you don't or a boyfriend like that. So the thing that is missing here is that people don't understand that relationship is not about just physical gratification or even emotional satisfaction. Relationship is about developing a deep bond, right? And when the deep bond is from the heart and from your spiritual being, then that fully satisfies the heart of both the parties. But if it is without that, and if it is just that, okay, I want enjoyment from you and you want enjoyment from me, so let us have that trade-off. So then what happens is you are left with a very shallow heart. Your heart is missing something. You feel vacant, right? खोखलापन महसूस होता है भैया. You feel that this relationship is only external. It's something like a kind of a business deal. आप मेरे को पैसे दो, मैं आपको पैसे. And Prabhupada used to call it as, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So I can't scratch my back. So you scratch my back and I will scratch your back. So that is the deal, right? So that kind of relationship does not satisfy you. And it leaves you empty. And therefore when you are empty within, then you become frustrated. And once you get into that, right? I know people who get into that and they regret it for their whole life. See, once you lose your character or once you lose your, chastity or purity, then whomever you may be living with for your whole life, you have not been faithful, you have not been loyal to that person. And that leaves you a guilt which will last forever in your life. And is that the kind of life you want to live? Or you want to live a life where you are happy within, that I have been responsible partner, right? So to have that heart satisfaction, we should have, we should value, chastity, loyalty to one partner, right? So for that, yes, that is what the Vedic culture teaches. But when you have that loyalty, when you have that fidelity, what happens is you feel real happiness, not just the external physical pleasure, but you find happiness in that relationship, and you can give that kind of happiness to the other person, and there is peace and there is harmony in that family, in that relationship, right? So that is why the Vedic culture teaches us. It's not just about restricting, no, don't do this, don't do that. It is about, don't destroy yourself by, don't destroy your life by, getting into something which you will regret or which you will feel guilty about for your whole life. Because certain things when you lose, it's very difficult to get it back and difficult to even forgive yourself, right? So therefore a good culture is a culture which protects you from such kind of unfortunate situations. So that's why Vedic culture is so glorious. Why? Because it is a culture where people are protected from such kind of things, where the culture supports you, to become chaste and loyal, and that way be happy, and that way everyone is happy. And a culture which does not value those things is a culture which, in which no one is happy. You look at the Western countries. Are they happy? I heard a joke. A wife was telling her husband, just see how your children and my children are playing with our children. Right? So you think is it a happy life? I don't think so. And many broken families, single parents, and what kind of life the children are getting?
Uncivilized, like cats.
Yeah. So Vedic culture is a culture that protects you, right? So therefore, we should learn to value that.